even programme. Hey, John.
How do, Alan?
Yes?
How are you going on?
What do you want?
Right, I want to talk about this fella, right? Now, I've geeked this horse, right? And this fella called, like, well, I can't say his name out, can I?
No, you can't.
Oh, no. Anyway, this fella, I went to him for some advice on my horse because it had, you know, it was constipated, like.
I don't think I want to know this. These jokes really are not particularly funny, particularly when you're attempting to put on a Wigan accent, when in fact you're probably just a brainless scouser. I don't know, but the evidence seems to indicate that. How do, Jim?
Hello, Alan. When I talk about the Falkland Islands, I think they should remain British, no doubt about that.
Well, you said there's no doubt, and yet you only said I think. Why should they remain British?
I think because there's British people live over there, and it's our, you know, sort of heritage, and...
What do you mean it's our heritage?
Oh, it's our land.
How can it be ours? What do you mean? How did it become ours, in your view?
It's been ours for many years.
No, I didn't ask you how long, I said how. How did it become ours, by your definition?
I
take that to mean I do not know. Probably means I don't know, doesn't it?
I'm a Chester fan, Alan.
Right. All of our excuses. How do, Colin?
Evening.
Yep.
I'd like to totally endorse the decision taken by the Isle of Man government to keep homosexuality illegal.
Why? Are you worried about yourself?
Certainly not. I've got God on my side to prevent this sort of evil ever coming my way.
Well, there's an awful lot of people that say Jesus didn't marry anyone, he spent a lot of time with blokes. But would you like to tell us why you think homosexuality is evil?
No, I said I'd like to...
How do, Philip?
You know, I'd like to talk about prison.
Go on.
Yeah, how come that they've got toilets in some prisons and like slough out buckets in the other one?
Because they've not all been built at the same time.
No, but I know a prison like that hasn't been up long and they've only just got toilets put in.
Fine.
Yeah, well, I think that we should have toilets in every prison.
I suppose they should do, but they haven't, and they will get round to it one day. I think they'd rather spend their money on hospitals where there aren't criminals. How do, Beefin?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to talk about toll bridges, Alan.
About?
Toll bridge. You know, toll bridge?
Tower Bridge.
Toll bridge?
Oh, toll bridge.
That's
those
it, yeah.
on which you pay a fee.
Yeah, that's right.
Go on.
Right, I went on a bar ride on
Excuse
Monday.
me, Beefin.
Hello?
Turn your radio off.
Pardon?
Turn your radio off.
Yeah, wait a minute, hang on. Yeah, right, Alan. I went
Beefin.
Yeah?
Turn your radio off.
Turn it down.
No, off, stupid! Off! Not down, off!
Right.
Have you turned it off?
Yeah. Right. Is that right?
I don't know, I don't live there.
No, it's off, right?
I don't know.
It's off.
If you say so.
I went on a bar ride on Monday. Right. I went to...
Look, stop asking me whether it's right. I don't know whether it's right.
And,
I'm prepared to believe you, but I'm not going to confirm it. Turn your radio off, Beefin.
Yeah. Right. I went on a bar ride on Monday. And
How am I going to believe you now that I know that you are actually a liar? Your radio's on again. Turn your radio off.
right, it's off now.
How can I believe you? I know you're a liar.
It's off.
I still know you're a liar.
Why? It's off.
Because you've lied to
You
me.
can't hear nothing, can you?
I can hear you. I can hear you. But I don't have to believe you because you've lied to me so much during the course of this conversation. I've lost all faith in you.
I don't lie.
You have lied.
I never lie.
You said you'd turned it off. I asked you to turn it off. You said it's off, right? And it wasn't off, was it?
Oh, no, I'll turn it down and you said turn it off, so I've turned it off now.
No, but you didn't turn it off when I told you to. 6 times I told you. And on 3 of those occasions you said, right, it's off now, right? And it wasn't, was it?
Right, it's off anyway.
No, would you like to just answer the question I put to you? When I said, turn it off, and you said it's off now, right? It wasn't, was it?
No, but it's off now.
Well, we're not bothered about now. You see, we're just establishing that you are, in fact, a liar.
I'm not a liar, though.
So when you said it is off, knowing full well that it was on, that wasn't a lie.
No.
It
Alright,
wasn't.
it were a lie. But I
It
thought
wasn't
you
a
said
lie.
turn your
Well,
radio down.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't. If you thought it was down, that I'd said, why did you say it's down? Why did you not say it's down now rather than it's off now? Which is
All right,
what
then,
you chose to say.
It was down.
Have we now established that you are, in fact, a liar?
Yeah, but I haven't come on to talk about lies. I've come on to talk
Well,
about
I'm not
selfish.
interested in what you've come on to talk about at the moment, Beefin, but have we now established that you are a liar?
Yeah, alright, I'm a liar.
Good.
You have been Beswick.
How do, Linda?
Hello?
Yes, love.
How do, Mark?
Hello, Al.
Yes. What do you want?
I've rung you up to talk about the
No,
YTS.
oh, the YTS, yes. Have you got something original to say about it? Because I think we've heard everything that could be said about the YTS so far, but I'm prepared to be proved wrong. Let us hear something new.
Yeah, well, a person rung up yesterday
Well,
about it, saying that...
If they've already said it, it's not going to be new, is it?
Yeah, no, but
Yeah,
I'm
no. How can you say yeah, no?
I'm on the YTS now.
Are you? What, now? This time of night?
Well, I started it a couple of months back.
Do you like it?
Yeah, but we got told.
Well, if you like it, that's all we need.
How do, Alan?
Hello, Alan.
Yes.
The situation is here, I'm gay myself personally, and I've got a friend of mine who is gay, and we want to know about this AIDS, because we hear a lot of rubbish on the radio and on the news and the media and everything, but we don't understand actually how you can catch it. We hear a lot of rubbish on the
Turn your radio off.
Turn the radio off, right, hold on a minute.
Turn that radio off.
It's off, I'm sorry about that.
Don't be sorry.
Okay.
Your radio's on.
It's not on, the radio is not on, I apologise, it's not on it.
What are you apologising for if it's not on?
Because it was on, means someone to turn it off.
It's on now.
But
I can hear it, you liar!
I'm not a liar,
You are a liar! Goodbye! How do, Nigel?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, last year, I got married to... Her name's Deborah. I got married to her.
We don't want to know her name, but go on.
Okay, then. Recently, right, 2 months ago, roughly, she's been asking me that she wants a baby to me. Right? And, how can I say... Well, I went to my doctor's just over a fortnight ago, because, like, I've been trying myself since we got married, you see. And, I can say...
When you were trying yourself, did you consider yourself to be guilty or innocent?
When I was trying... Well, I didn't think I was capable, you see, really.
You don't sound very capable.
Pardon?
Your partner in the background that's doing all the giggling doesn't think you're that capable either.
He thinks I'm daft, you know, trying to talk to you, see.
Mm.
Now, see, problem
Why are
is-
you spending time at 1:30 in the morning with a man when you have a woman to whom you're married? Why aren't you at home with her?
I am,
You are.
yeah.
Then why is he giggling?
He just thinks it's funny.
He thinks what's funny?
She's in bed right now, asleep, you see.
I see.
I'm
And
trying-
you're
I'm
downstairs
what's
with
my
your mate.
advice, you see?
And you're
See-
downstairs with your mate.
Pardon?
And you're downstairs with your mate.
Well, next door, you see, it's a flat.
I see. Well, if your interest is in procreation, I promise you
What's
it
that
won't
mean?
happen on the phone.
What?
Look it up in a dictionary. How do, Darren?
Hello?
Hello?
You know what I did this morning?
No.
Well,
How would I know? I mean, come on, Darren. Darren, be reasonable. How would I know what you did this morning?
Well, just...
Unless I was present. Was I there?
I'm going
Darren.
You wasn't present,
Darren.
I'm going to tell you now.
Well, I don't want to know.
Why not?
Well, you haven't asked me if I want to know.
What do you want to know?
No.
Well, hang on.
I don't want to know.
Can I tell you?
What for? I don't want to know.
Please?
I don't want to know.
It's interesting.
Well, I won't never find out.
Well, why not?
Because I don't want to know.
You could find out if I tell you.
If you told me, I'd find out, but I don't want to know, so I'm not going to find out.
Hey, that's wrong. I mean, I rung
Right,
you up here.
how can it be wrong? How can it be wrong? I
hang on.
can't find out if you don't tell me.
I spent all this money trying to get food to you, and you're not going to
You
listen
don't,
to
excuse me, Darren. You don't spend any money trying to get through.
Well, I got through, and I waited.
Darren, that's not what you said. Once you've got through, then you're spending money. But trying to get through costs you nothing.
Okay,
You don't pay for what numbers you've got.
I was wrong.
Well, I'm sure you were. You were wrong to assume that I would want to know what you did this morning.
Hey, you know
'Cause I
what?
don't.
You know what?
Yeah, I know what. He's a nice lad. How do, Ian?
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hi. You know, I want to talk about burglary. You know, my brother's flat was broken into on Saturday, and we went to see a solicitor, and we phoned the police, obviously, and his video recorder and television was stolen, besides a hi-fi, which, so we went to see a solicitor about it, and the solicitor said, unless the police make an arrest, there is nothing a solicitor can do. So anyway, we were insured against break-ins. So like we had the insurance company out Monday morning to inspect the place, and according to the guy that inspected it, he was satisfied that it was a genuine break-in. So like we told the solicitor this, he said, he said, well, there's nothing we can do until the police inform us of has been a break-in.
Can I ask you a simple question, Ian? What do you want the solicitor to do?
Well, we went to ask advice about a claim, because, according to the guy that the insurance company, they send an inspector out to inspect it was a genuine break-in, okay?
Yes.
So, what the guy said, he said, well, I'm satisfied, We phoned the insurance company up Monday afternoon, around 3 o'clock, and what they said to us was, according to our inspector, he's not satisfied to what he found.
Well,
he said to us...
I think you'd better get your answer in writing first.
But
We'll do that first.
Yeah, but we went to a solicitor and told him, the solicitor phoned up the insurance company, and the insurance company told him that they were satisfied with what they found, yet when we phoned up, they said they were not satisfied.
Well, what have I just suggested you do, Ian?
Yeah, we'll get it in writing, but...
Well, that's the best answer.
But you see if you've got
Ian,
if
you want the solicitor to sue them, the solicitor is first of all going to want a written refusal to pay you.
Yeah.
So get it in writing.
Yeah, but we're not interested in suing them, right?
Ian, if they say to you we're not paying you, you'll be damned interested in suing them, won't you?
Well,
good morning, Britannia 128.
How do Jessie?
Hello, Alan.
Yes.
I was on you a long while ago before, and
well, you're on now. What do you want?
I just you don't hear much of AIDS now. Do you think it's dying out?
No, but them that have got it are.
Pardon?
I never said that.
No, you don't hear much about it now, so do you think it might be dying away or something?
No, it isn't. It's just that the publicity has diminished.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's all.
Just never hear much
the
about it.
government's run out of money.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's still there, I assure you. How do Darren? Hello, Darren. Never mind, Darren. You're obviously not intelligent enough to recognise your own name. How do Jane? Sorry, Marilyn. Jane's next.
Marilyn.
Yes, how do Marilyn?
Hello.
Hello.
I'd like to talk about the subject of abortion.
Go on.
I may like to mention one of the agony aunts.
Yeah, go on. It doesn't matter if you...
But it's Katie Boyle.
Yes.
And I read in your paper the other day, a young girl wrote up, and she was going out with a younger boy. She got pregnant, and Katie Boyle, she wrote to Katie Boyle, and Katie Boyle had advised her to have an abortion because the young girl didn't want to speak to her boyfriend about it.
Yes.
I mean, I'm dead against abortion. I don't think it's right in whatever shape or form. Do you agree with that?
Do I agree with what? Because you made two statements there.
Can say so, off the book that, it's alright, she doesn't know anything about the background whatsoever. I mean, I think it's dead wrong that she can say that.
Let me ask you what, on the face of it, might seem like a silly question. What do you think she should be forbidden from saying?
Katie Boyle?
Yes.
Well, to me, I mean, the facts were in the paper that all she knew about the young girl was that she was going out with a younger man. The girl didn't want to tell the boy. I mean, to me, abortion is killing somebody.
Well, yes, but obviously, Marilyn, in whatever circumstance or whatever circumstances were described in that newspaper,
Yeah.
if the advice was abort the child,
Yeah.
you would consider that to be wrong, would you not?
Oh, yeah.
Now, Katie Boyle doesn't.
Katie Boyle doesn't, but Katie Boyle is talking to a young girl who in the paper said she was frightened, she was distressed, she was dismayed. I mean...
Well, what do you think, what advice should Katie Boyle have given, in your opinion?
Katie Boyle, I mean, she was saying in the paper that should I tell the, the boy to father?
I'm asking you what advice you think
I know
Katie
what
Boyle
you're
should have given.
saying.
Well, what advice should Katie Boyle have given?
I think Katie Boyle should have given the advice, something on the lines of, speak to the father of it. He was old enough to get you pregnant. I mean, that's quite a good...
Let me ask you, Marilyn, whether you...
No, listen to me.
Well, speak to the father. Do you think the girl would have done that?
I think I would have done that.
No, you're not the girl. She's not advising you.
I think the girl should have done that.
No, we're not talking about should. Should is a luxury. We're talking about would.
Luxury. How would you describe a luxury?
A luxury is something that we would like to have, but may not get.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well then we'll call it a luxury and we'll say yes.
Should would be a luxury.
Well, we'll
Would.
say yes. Then.
I'm asking you what the girl would have done, not what she should have done. We all know what she should have done. If we dealt with what she should have done, she wouldn't have got pregnant. We're talking about what she would have done.
How do you define that?
Well, let's just deal with the facts. The girl was
Are
pregnant.
you against abortion?
It's irrelevant. The girl was
No,
pregnant.
it's not irrelevant.
No, I'm not against abortion totally.
You agree with abortion?
I believe there are situations where abortion can be right.
Really?
Yes.
I can't understand that whatsoever.
Well, let's discuss it then, because you're obviously not intelligent enough to discuss
Hey,
the
no,
data.
don't call me unintelligent because I'm as intelligent as you. That is,
Well, let's
that
see
is
if you
really
are.
offensive.
Well,
I
let
haven't
us-
been offensive towards you.
Well, you'll just have to be offended, man. There's nothing I can do about that. If you get offended so easily, then you should have wronged somebody else. However, let us ignore the abortion issue for now, then, and let us go back to the other information, the other issue, and let us deal with what you think would have been the result had Katie Boyle said in that newspaper, "Tell the boy." What do you think the girl would have done?
Well, I think first of all she should have said.
No,
tell
you're
the
back
boy.
to should. We've established that.
That he is.
We've
she is
established.
going to tell the boy, but
Listen,
Katie
listen,
Boyle has
listen,
said.
listen.
Listen.
We have established for
Yes,
the purposes
yes. Just say everything in strict clip.
only to prats.
Only to prats. Well, you're the biggest pillock going, aren't you?
Oh, so now it's abuse. I thought you weren't going to get like that.
Well, you started.
Listen, my immature little girl.
I might
You will
be
listen
immature.
to
Well,
it.
I might be immature.
There is no
You're
doubt, ma'am.
so much of a pillock, it's unbelievable.
Yes, Marilyn. Have you impressed all your friends now?
Sorry?
Have you impressed all your friends now, or have you still some that you've got to
I've
impress?
insulted you.
It is impossible, you silly cow.
It's impossible to insult me. Well, you must
No.
be a pillock. Unbelievable.
That's the
Good
third
heavens.
time you've used
if
that
I
word.
can't
Marilyn.
insult you, you must be stupid.
Marilyn.
God, I
No.
mean, you must have
Marilyn.
no brains whatsoever.
Marilyn.
Oh, dear God, Alan. I mean, how could you be called Allan Beswick? I mean,
Marilyn.
go on.
Are you going to discuss, or are you going to
No, because
continue?
you got... No, I would
Marilyn.
discuss. I would discuss, but you're
Marilyn.
so offensive.
Marilyn,
Go on.
are you going to discuss, or are you going to continue to make yourself sound awfully stupid and very immature? Which?
Am I very immature?
No,
What
listen
is
to
your
the...
definition
Marilyn.
of immature?
Marilyn, listen to the question.
Do you
and
know
try...
what you're talking
Marilyn,
about?
Marilyn, listen to the question and try to answer it. Are you going to
do you
discuss...
think I'm capable?
Marilyn, listen to the question and try to answer it.
Really?
Do
Go on then,
you wish...
ask the question.
Marilyn, shut up and
Oh,
listen to the
dear,
question.
dear.
Marilyn,
Now, come on, Alan.
Marilyn, listen to the question and then try to answer it.
Have you always been a parent?
Marilyn, if you wish this conversation to continue,
Are you going to cut me
you
off?
will... No, I don't
No,
need
why
to.
not? I'm
Okay,
unintelligent.
I will then. I'll do Jane. I did try. I'll do Jane. Come along, Jane. I'll do David.
Hello?
Hello?
I'm just ringing up to find out.
David.
Yeah.
We know you're ringing up.
Right,
That's
sound.
how phone-ins work.
Right, sound.
Sound also takes part. Vision we don't have. Sound we do.
Right. Now what?
And I'm always right. So we've established all of those things. Now get on with it.
Right. I want to know why you're not colour prejudiced, but you're prejudiced against Scousers in a way.
When you say Scousers in a way, would you like to explain?
Scousers in general, then.
Scousers in general? I thought Scousers were in Liverpool.
Well, yeah, they are, but I mean, in general, you asked me to explain, so I did.
Well, you didn't. You said in general. That's hardly an explanation.
No, well, I could have hardly said in Liverpool, could I? Because you would have said, well, something or other and tried to twist my mind.
I'd have had to find it first.
Well, it wouldn't be very hard. You're experienced at that.
Finding your mind. I'm no good at needles in haystacks. However, David, I'm not prejudiced against Scouts as you define them.
So you're not prejudiced against Scouts, just the minority of them, yeah?
No, I'm not prejudiced against any of them.
No, but you seem to say that the idiots and fools and cut them off, you've got the wrong accent, you know.
Well, they certainly have the wrong accent on the occasions when I have banned Scousers from the programme.
That's what I mean, but you haven't banned Geordies or Irish people or people...
we don't get a lot of Geordies or Irish people on the programme, to be frank. And when we do, they appear not to be as, should we say, unbroadcastable as some Scousers.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Well, I don't know why you rang then. How do, Mark?
Good evening, Alan.
Is it?
Okay.
What do you mean, okay? Is it a good evening? That's all I ask.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Well, if you suppose it is, it is. Go on.
I have this friend who does a paper round, and as he was going to the house to deliver the papers, he was attacked by a dog which bit him in several places. Now, the owner of the house gave him money and took him to the hospital, obviously saying that...
What's your question, Mark?
I think that...
No, you're not interested in what you think. What's your question?
I haven't got a question, I've got a point to put forward.
Put your point.
I believe that they should change the law...
39125
Change the law. Tell me what you want it changed to.
Well, at the moment... The law...
don't tell me what you want it changed to. What it is doesn't matter.
Okay. I think that if somebody is attacked by an animal...
Yes.
That is owned by a member of the public...
Well, all animals are owned by somebody, I suppose. Go on.
A pet, a domestic animal.
Yes.
The owner of the animal, or the person who was attacked, should by law be obliged to report this attack.
Why?
Well, I believe that... Well, it's true. If a dog...
What do you mean, I believe it's true?
I'll start again, Alan.
I haven't got time for you to start again.
If a dog attacks somebody, it is obviously dangerous.
Not necessarily so.
If a dog attacks somebody without provocation, it is dangerous.
That's a different matter.
Well, in this case,
But you've not wanted a piece of legislation that says those dogs that attack unprovoked should be reported. Your piece of legislation said all dog attacks should be reported. That was your piece of legislation. Do you wish now to amend it?
I do.
Okay, well, ring me back and amend it. How do, Barry?
All right, Alan.
Yes?
Right. First of all, I would like your opinion on about bringing people into the country.
Well, give me your opinion.
Right, my opinion is, now, a policy was brought out. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not
Just give me the opinion.
Right, my opinion is, I've heard by papers, news and stuff like that there's 30,000 other people being brought into England and offered houses and jobs from a government policy. And my opinion
where are these 30,000 coming from?
hang on, say again. You know the Vietnam War that came in?
Yes.
And the Vietnamese boat people had to vacate, sort of thing, in a hurry.
Well, they didn't. It's not quite right. Well, first of all, you use the term being brought in. That rather implies that the government have gone out to get them.
Well, the way it's been worked out as the government have taken a sort of like a responsibility to bringing the people in. Now...
No, they haven't.
Well, it was what was said on the news.
Well, I don't really care what it said on the news. 30,000 people have come here, but it hasn't been the government's responsibility to get them here. The government, all governments all over the world, tried to prevent it. But there are two pieces of international law which enable the Vietnamese boat people, as they're called, to make it to Britain or indeed to other sovereign nations. And that is that one of the laws, the international law, is distress on the high seas. If a captain of a ship is aware of another ship of whatever nationality at all in distress, he has a moral and a maritime obligation to go and assist, and if necessary take the people off that ship that is in distress onto his own ship.
Yes,
if he then does so, and that happens to be a British ship, the only place he can compulsorily insist that they are discharged is Britain.
Yes, I understand that, Alan.
The same applies if it's a German ship, a Hong Kong ship, or what have you.
Yes, I understand that. What I'm saying is, the people that have in question, the 30,000, have not been admitted into England yet. But
No,
it's a future policy for bringing them in
well,
and offering them jobs, whereas...
Well, hold it a moment. The bit you've just added on the end, and offering them jobs, is a load of crap.
Well, that's what I said, in my own opinion, because there's not enough jobs to go around in England.
No, I'm not talking about my opinion of offering them jobs. Just because you come into this country as a refugee, or as a boat person, or as someone who's been protected and collected from the high seas in distress, doesn't mean they're going to offer you a job. Where's the government going to get these jobs? Are they all going to be civil servants? Are we going to be going getting our dole off little yellow men?
No,
the government doesn't have any jobs to give them. The government doesn't hand out jobs like that.
Yes,
so the government cannot give them 30,000 jobs. The government entitles them if they can find a job to take that job. But it doesn't say 30,000 people. Okay, lads, let's open a factory and build some. What are we going to build in this factory? They don't do that. If they can get jobs, fine.
Yes, I understand that, Alan. But what I'm saying is that, now I'm not talking political, but the Prime Minister, enthusiastic, said in a report on the television that she was going to take these people in, offer them jobs, houses, and my point is, and which my point is, it's wrong for a start off.
Why is it wrong? Why is it wrong? Never mind who said it, tell me why it's wrong.
Well, when you work it out, there's not enough houses.
Tell me why it's wrong was the question.
Well, for one reason, there's not enough houses and enough jobs to bring them in for a start off.
Oh, so what
We're
we do,
overcrowded.
so what we say to a man that's drowning out in the mid-Atlantic, what we say is, well, we'd love to help you, lad. We've nothing against you personally, but we've got nowhere for you to live, so you'll just have to drown. Sorry, we would have helped, but we're a bit crowded already. All right. Yeah, goodbye now. Do you want a brick to make it quicker? Don't be silly.
Yes, I understand that. I mean,
so they've got no choice.
Yes, true.
Right, well, I'm glad you agree. If there's no choice, we're wasting our time talking about it. Ed?
Hello, Alan.
Yep.
Can I have some advice, please?
We'll see.
Well, at work, I was cutting up some floorboards, and I went through a cold water pipe. And my firm says I have to pay for it. Now, I would have thought that the firm should be insured against things like that.
They may well be insured, but we have to consider whether it was your fault. If it was your fault, then you damn well ought to pay, oughtn't you?
Well, no. Because the firm should take the responsibility.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
First of all, the firm has got responsibility in that if the people lose home or premises you were working in claims, then the firm can't say it wasn't our fault, sue the employee. The firm will have to cough up.
Yeah.
That's point one.
Yeah.
But they can then come back to you and say it was your fault, we're getting you to pay for it, if you were negligent. You have an obligation to apply yourself to your work diligently. If you do not apply yourself to your work diligently, and as a result of that negligence, you end up cutting through a water pipe, why should the company stand the loss? Imagine the situation. You've had a row with the boss, so you go into this woman's house. She's got £6,000 worth of carpets all through the house, and you run round knocking holes in the walls and cutting the pipes.
Yeah.
And the employer says, well, Ecky thump, we've got to pay all this money out. What a shame. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, but
he's going to come to you. He's going to kick your ghoulies in.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right.
He has done.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I wonder why your voice was so high, but that's the way it is. So if you've been negligent, it's your problem.
Well, it was an accident. It wasn't a case of I was pegging around the house, banging holes everywhere.
No, I'm not suggesting you were, but when you say it was an accident, accidents are just strange things, aren't they? We all claim it was an accident, but accidents don't happen. They're made to happen.
Yeah.
Could the accident have been avoided by proper care and attention?
No.
As someone who once cut through a water pipe whilst mending a floorboard, I can't criticise you, but if it's your job to know these things, then perhaps you should have known. I don't know. I'm asking.
Oh, well.
Could it have been avoided is the question. I know when I cut through a water pipe it could have been avoided. I was pushing my little power saw along and it stopped, and I thought, oh, I wonder why it stopped. Oh. Well, so I pushed it a bit hard and it went through a pipe.
Yeah.
That's why it stopped. It was hitting a pipe.
Yeah.
Now, did that happen to you? Because if it did, you're a prat. I'm a prat, but I'm employed to be a prat. I'm not an engineer, I'm not a carpenter, I'm not a joiner. So it's all right when I make a cock-up, but if you make one, it's your job not to.
We all make mistakes, though.
Indeed we do, but if it was only an error, if it was just a mistake, if it was one of those things that you couldn't avoid, then it's not your problem. But if you've done it through negligence, you've got an obligation not to be negligent. How do, Peter? He's gone. We'll go to the other Peter. How do?
Hello, Alan.
Hello?
Is it true that you don't like football?
Yes.
And you don't like boxing?
Yes.
You don't like drinking?
Well, I like drinking.
Well, alcoholics?
No. I don't like alcoholics.
You don't go...
Are we eventually going to get to this thing when you say, oh, God, you must be boring?
No, I'm just wondering, is your middle name Nancy?
Nancy?
Yeah.
No, it's not, actually.
Oh, okay, bye.
You think it should be?
Yeah, because you're a puff.
Well, what's that got to do with it? I know puffs that play rugby. Seems awfully quiet at your end of the phone.
Yeah, I think you're lying.
You think I'm lying?
Yeah.
Oh, so now I'm a lying puff.
Yeah.
Are you a bit worried about your machoism, are you? A bit worried about your masculinity? You're going to come on the phone and attempt to insult your betters? Goodbye, cretin. How do, Darren?
How do?
You'll have to speak a little louder, Darren.
Pardon?
You'll have to speak a little louder.
The sexual urge of the camel is
Greater than anyone thinks, because in the mating season he tried to make love to the Sphinx, but the Sphinx's internal passages are blocked by the sands of the Nile, and that accounts for the ump on the camel and the Sphinx's peculiar smile. Kay?
Yes, I'm sorry, it wasn't my wife. She phoned up for me. I was upstairs on the toilet.
I don't think I wish to know that, but never mind.
Yes,
well, what's your name?
It's Nick.
Nick the Lou, right.
Right. What I want to discuss is Freemasonry.
Go on.
Why is it in Freemasonry that you scratch my back and I scratch your back, everybody gets on?
Well, you'll have to establish that to be so before you ask me to quantify it.
Yes, but if I put that in evidence...
Well, let's hear the evidence. I don't want any names, but let's hear the evidence.
Yes, if I put that in evidence, I would be blacklisted.
Well, I've slagged off the Freemasons dozens of times, and I don't seem to have been blacklisted anywhere.
Right, yes. So why do you disbelieve in God, then?
What's that got to do with it?
Well, anybody...
Are you telling me that God is a Freemason?
Yeah, but anybody...
He is a Freemason. God is a Freemason.
No, but anybody that's in the Freemasonry disbelieves in any religion whatsoever.
Well, you obviously know sweet nothing about the Freemasons.
Well, you enlighten me then, please.
I will. The Freemasons, there are those who suggest that the Freemasons are against the established religions, against the Church of England, against Roman Catholicism. The Freemasons actually deny that. But even if you accept that to be true, despite their denial, they still have a God of their own, the great architect of the universe. He is their God, if you accept that they don't have the God that most other people have. They argue that they do, but you cannot say that they have no religion, they have no God. They reject God, when in fact they have a God of all of their very own.
Well, can I ask you a personal question?
Yes.
And this is a bit naughty.
Well, I'll only answer it if I would feel inclined to. I very rarely answer personal questions, but you can always ask. Well, given that I've slagged them off so very often, I very much doubt that I would be, but to save you floundering round, no, I am not. I am not a member of any secret society, because I'm not an immature little prat that wants to roll my trouser leg up and wear a slipper. I don't need to perform ludicrous, immature, childish rituals. I don't need it. I can't abide the company of men. They get on my nipple ends. So no, I am not a Freemason.
Well, Alan, I'm quite pleased for you to say that.
Well, I'm glad you're pleased.
Quite pleased. But it does annoy me because I've worked all overseas on different contracts in different countries, and I've seen it go on and on and on, and the people...
Well, first of all, let me stop you again, Nick, and say that the British Freemasons, the Freemasons of England and Wales, I think it is, I'm not sure that they're in Scotland, I'm prepared to be corrected.
They are actually.
Okay, well, the British Freemasons claim that they are not in any way connected with any other Freemasons in the world.
They are.
Well, they claim they are not. If you can give me evidence, I would be happy to hear it. But until you can give me evidence, other than you saying so, then I'm going to have to accept their word.
Well, if I post it through to you?
I'd look forward to receiving it, Nick. Okay.
Okay, right,
The address is P.O. Box 301 Preston, PR11YE. Right, how do, Mike?
Hello, Alan. I'd just like to make a comment about that Beastie Boys thing, because I was actually...
Well, tell me about it. Give me the comment.
Well, for the start off, I mean, you mentioned football then.
I didn't, he did. Tell me the comment.
Well, there was quite a lot of football supporters there, actually.
What's that got to do with it?
You might like to make a note of this evening's Ringerprat number. It's a foul-mouthed dog called Mike. It's also a Liverpool number, which means we're having no more Scousers on the programme tonight. Here is the number for Ringerprat. Do annoy him, ruin his life if you must. The number 051 523 3418. That is the number for Ringerprat. His name's Mike, and he's got a mouth like a sewer, which I'm told suits him. 051 523 3418. Don't expect too much intellect from the cretinous dog. And how do Brian?
Look around, where you...
I've looked around.
Use my land.
Hold it.
Yeah?
What is this poem all about?
It's about an office block.
An office flock?
A block.
Block?
Yeah.
I see. Then use your own voice.
Look around, where you stand.
Oh, you poor unfortunate boy. How do Mark?
How do, Al?
Yes.
How you diddling? Hello?
Yes?
I'd like to talk about the Vodaprat line. I don't think it works.
What do you mean you don't think it works?
Well, because you gave out a number yesterday, and I phoned it up tonight, and he said he was hoping for more calls.
That's alright, you can have more calls.
Yeah, but he was depressed, Alan.
I'm not bothered about him. I don't care if he gasses himself. In fact, I'm quite looking forward to reading in the newspaper that he has. How do Bernard?
How do Alan? Hello?
We've done that.
I'd like to talk about prisons, please. But there's several people been on lately talking...
Go and turn your radio off.
Right. I'd like to talk about prisons. There's been several people on lately talking about why people should go in prisons. I'd like to say that I feel that people in there are there to serve time as a punishment for what they've done. They're not in there to be harassed or punished or go on riot in the prison. Could I have your feelings, please?
I don't think anyone argues that they are there to go on riot.
Yeah, but you get some MPs and people like that saying it serves themselves right for being there, but it's not. Well,
there's a certain degree of truth in that, isn't there?
Well, I suppose there is, but...
I've never been the victim of a prison riot, primarily because I haven't yet been to prison.
Well, even if you did go to prison, would you accept that you were there as a punishment to...
Well, Bernard, I don't think I'd accept it, no, but then I wouldn't accept that I deserve to be in prison, would I? Ask any of them and they all say, oh, I never did it. I'm innocent. Prison's jam full of innocent people.
Yeah, well, I suppose so.
So, we're not bothered about what they accept, are we? Surely we should make prison such a way that people don't want to go in it. They seem to be queuing up at the moment. I haven't got a colour telly. Oh, we'll break a window, they'll put you in jail, you can watch the cup final.
Yeah, well...
So why should people who have little regard for their fellow members of society be treated in any other way than roughly?
Well, they are being treated roughly by other people who've done the same thing, so it's not really fair, is it?
What do you mean? We're not in the business of being fair to prisoners. Surely the people we need to be fair to are those who are not lawbreakers.
Well, even so, but...
What do you mean, even so? Is that the full intellectual capability you've got? Even so. What do you mean?
Well, if they do go into prison, they are there as a punishment to take so many years, months or days away from their life.
That's a matter of opinion, isn't it? You say that putting them in prison is a punishment in its own right. There are those that argue that prison should be a punishment on top of the loss of freedom. There are many people that argue that prison's like it's like Butlins, for crying out loud. Perhaps it should be more punishment. Perhaps it should be painful. Perhaps the reason there's so much crime is because prison is so damn cushy.
Are they your views, Alan?
It doesn't really matter whether they're my views or not.
What, could I have your views, please?
What for?
Well, I'd like to know them.
Well, that's not a good enough reason. A good enough reason would be I would like to give them to you. And unless you can convince me that I ought, I don't really see that it matters what you want.
Alright, could I say something else, please?
Yes, good night. How do, Stuart?
Hello, Alan.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about the North Atlantic Treaty Organisation's defence policy.
Go on, man.
In conventional terms. I think it's ludicrous.
Well, hold it a minute. The NATO defence policy isn't divided into conventional and nuclear. It is a
yeah, but I want to concentrate on the conventional.
But that wasn't what you said. By all means, do concentrate on the conventional.
Yeah, I think it's ludicrous that the perpetually pursuing policies which makes us outnumbered with regards to the Warsaw Pact countries, and I think it's that kind of stance makes it more likely for there to be the nuclear option in the event of the Soviets coming into Western Europe and beating us conventionally.
Well, we first of all have to consider whether the Soviets are going to...
Well, of course they're not, but the Tories...
I'm sorry, hold it a minute. I'm not prepared to have you mention any political parties. You're talking about NATO. NATO is an international organisation. We can talk about NATO.
I know they don't want to, but...
What do you mean? Hold it. We're not talking about whether the Russians want to or do not want to.
Yeah.
If you have the belief, and you're entitled to it, but if you hold the belief that the Russians are not to invade, then we don't require a defence policy at all. If they don't want to invade.
Well, the likelihood...
Hold it. If you do not believe that the Russians or some other Warsaw Pact country wants to invade us...
Well, I can't guarantee that it's not going to happen.
I see. So you do accept the need for a defence policy.
Well, yes, but...
well, not well, yes. If you're in difficulty...
Well, I didn't say we didn't need one. I said
I'm not asking you what
I disagreed with it.
Stuart, Nigel, which are you, Stuart?
I'm certainly not Nigel.
Well, I don't know. You sound stupid enough to be Nigel. However, I'm not really debating with what you've said so far, because what you've said so far is, to be perfectly honest, banal and a waste of time. What I'm trying to find out...
I don't think so.
Well, obviously you don't think so, but if you had the intellect that I have, you would. Now listen, I want you to tell me whether you think we should have a NATO defence force.
Well,
yes or no?
Strictly speaking, no. I think everyone should get rid of weapons and not get rid of war. That'll be fine by me.
Let us live in the world that we have. In the world in which you and I currently live.
Well, you asked me a question, so I answered it.
I'm now asking you another one. So why don't you wait till the end of it?
You're patronising me.
But you deserve it, and I like to give people what they deserve when I can.
Very kind, Alan.
I know I'm kind. That's one of my failings. I'm just too kind. Everybody that listens to the programme is aware of this. Here is the question. In the world in which we live, do you believe that NATO should have a defence force? Do you believe that it should have a defence force that is totally conventional, in other words, non-nuclear?
Yes.
Why?
Because they can't guarantee that there's never going to be a nuclear weapon or nuclear weapons used.
Indeed, they cannot guarantee it. Surely, if they cannot guarantee that they're not going to be used, having given them up, what you're really saying is that we cannot guarantee that the Soviet forces wouldn't use them. Now, if we give up ours, as you suggest we should, then we leave ourselves open, do we not, to a Soviet nuclear attack, or alternatively, a Soviet nuclear threat?
Yes, but I think a threat is, and giving leeway to the Soviets is far better than a nuclear war.
So you would far sooner be under the Iron Curtain, if you like, not free, because those countries, as we've seen with Poland, Hungary and Czechoslovakia in recent years...
Well, soon as the Russians...
Well, listen to the question. You obviously believe that the Soviets are totally inert, do you?
No, well, you can't ever be totalitarian like that, can you?
No, I'm not I didn't say totalitarian. I thought you were upset at me patronising you. I used a word, or a phrase, totally inert. Are you suggesting that that is what the Soviets are?
No.
No. What does totally inert mean?
Well, totally unliable to attack us.
Well, we'll settle for that. It's not quite right, but it'll do. So you do believe that there is a possibility...
There always will be.
Let's go on a rotor of 0 to 10. On a scale of 0 to 10, how great do you think the likelihood is that the Soviets would attack us?
Minus.
You can't have minus.
Well, 0.1 then.
0.1. Not even 100th is what you're saying. 1%. 0.1 on a scale of 0 to 10.
Well, seeing as they lost so many people in the Second World War, I don't think...
Well, they lost a lot of people in the Second World War. They certainly did, but they seem to have forgotten it when they went into Afghanistan.
Well, they were never going to lose so many people in such
No, they weren't going to lose such a lot. No, I'll grant you that. But you see, we've already established... How do, Matthew?
Hello, Alan?
Yes?
I'd like to ask you, do you believe in intelligent life other than human beings?
Yes, cats.
No, I don't mean what we know about though. I mean, you know, like villages of like Easy or something.
I've never been.
Well, neither have I, but I just want to ask you, do you believe that there is something out there?
I neither believe nor not believe. I am prepared to accept that there probably is.
Do you think they visited Earth?
I didn't see any. But if they did, they probably landed in Liverpool.
Why'd you say that?
Well, that's probably why they all talk so funny.
We don't.
Well, you may not think so.
Will you talk funny to me?
Well, I won't talk to you then. I've forgotten again, Rod. Line 1. How do, Stephen?
Hello, Alan.
Yes?
Have you been watching rugby?
No.
No, why
Turn
not?
your radio off.
Okay, just wait.
I don't see why I should wait. He should have known that by now. How do, Dawn?
Hello again, Alan.
Hello again, Dawn. What do you want?
Pardon?
What do you want?
Oh, I'm ringing up to say, right, the other day, last week, we had visitors, strangers in the garden, and the dog was going crazy. And so my mum said, because it was only my mum at the time, my friend Nicola, and my mum said...
I don't want to know your friend's name. Goodbye.